Greetings, everyone. Yes, that is a glass. I'm toasting you. Since I'm Irish, that's a pint of Guinness. I don't drink beer. We drink the nectar of the gods. I'm toasting you. I'm toasting your journey, your epic. I'm toasting you as would Sappho and Homer. So let's wrap this up. Sappho. Listen to this poem. You, an Achilles apple, blushing sweet on high branch, at the tip of the tallest tree, you escaped those who would pluck your fruit. Not that they didn't try. No, they could not forget you, poised beyond their reach. Sappho, the poet of eroticism or the erotic. But listen, Plato calls her the 10th muse, right? The muses, the daughters of inspiration that come from Mount Olympus to us and inspire us to create art, to paint, to create poetry, to write, to dream, to make music. The muses, the daughters of love, inspiration, the god Eros. The erotic love, the love of and through the body. But listen, Eros is different than we think of him. We think of him because the Romans, in a satirical way, turned him into the Cupid, the tiny little cherub baby with the arrows that he shoots at us so that you fall in love. That's not the Eros of the Greeks. See, Eros in Greece means love or desire of body. The desire to preserve or self-preservation. There's the binary to it, two sides, right? The biological side, the evolutionary side to reproduce, to sustain the species, and the human side, right? The existential side, the side to touch, to be loved, to know that you're real. This is what eros or erotic means. It's not the pornographic side, not the hookup culture side, the side that leaves us wanting and unfulfilled. No, eros is autoerotic. It's self-love, right? It's the love that Audre Lorde talks about, and you listen to her. It's not the pornographic love that people, when they look at our bodies, say, I would love you. It's the self-love inside that gets us, to motivates us to action, as she says, to step out, to act. The desire to preserve, to love myself enough to survive and to thrive, to achieve eudaimonia, to live long enough to write the poem of my journey. Speaking of journey, you read Homer and Odysseus. I picked Odysseus in particular because Odysseus symbolizes the vast experiences of our lives. A new career, a new relationship, a new child, the loss of one, the desire not to have one, the desire to have more than one, the desire to go to the moon, the desire to become a doctor. All of those things are journeys that we face on the way to happiness, to eudaimonia, to be able to walk around and tell the story of our journey, to be the poet of our own life. Odysseus. Too often what we miss about Odysseus is the journey itself. The tales are great, and we remember them, and the muses muse about them, and the poets write their lyrics about them. The tales are told over again. They're mentioned by Chaucer and Dante. It's a story that lives on throughout time. Odysseus is just like King Arthur, just like you and I. And after 20 long years, 10 years of the struggle in Troy, in the battle, and you've been there, you've been in the struggle. And then the Cyclops. And then struggle after struggle after struggle. And Odysseus gets home, and that's what we celebrate. And rightly so, but that's what we celebrate. And we raise our glasses and we slosh them around and we celebrate and we toast Odysseus. And of course, he gathers his wife again. And that's where we tend to bring in Sappho. And we think of the erotic again and the pornographic. Of course, if you hadn't seen a significant other in the last 20 years, the first thing you're going to do is get laid. Is that really how we're going to end the story? No, the erotic is the thrill in the journey itself. Odysseus was able to make it home because every step of the way he was preserving himself, his authenticity, who he was. He was Ithaca, and gods, Zeus be damned, he was going to make it. Eros, Sappho, and Odysseus. That long, long journey. See, that's where the thrill is. That's where the power of living is. That's where the joy is in the toast. Not that we're surrounded by people in comfort and happiness. It's because we remember the adventure, the epic. Sam and Frodo's hearts are broken in Lord of the Rings when they have to part ways. Not because of the joy of the Shire, but because of the grand adventures they went on. The erotics of preserving yourself. Sappho and Homer. Enjoy your journey that you call life.